Okay, so another great way for a guy to make extra money on the side is appliance repair. And you can get some appliances for free on Craigslist. I got this dryer for free for hauling it off. Now I could have taken it for scrap metal, but you can see this is a pretty new dryer, so there's no reason to scrap something like this. What was wrong with it is the heating element, and that's kind of an expensive part, so you want to shop around for it. But I managed to find a pretty good deal on it. I got it for $58 shipped to me, and that's what I have right in here. There's a replacement part. I'll show you how to put it in. Alright, so you don't hardly need any tools at all for this project. I got a blade to cut open my box for the part, a Phillips screwdriver and a flathead screwdriver. That's really all we need. I'm going to pull that part out real fast just to show you what it looks like, what we're going to be replacing. I got this, I'm going to put a link on the blog to show where to get this part. Like I say, it's inexpensive, or it was like $20 less at one particular place. I want to make sure I show you where that spot is. This heating element right here is what just burned out. I got too much fur in one spot and it got too hot and just eventually burned through it. Alright, let's get the dryer apart. It's pretty easy. You're going to want to start up here. There's these little clips in the front. You just kind of push them in to get the top up. Alright, so I'm pushing that one in right there. You just kind of have to feel your way for it. That's what you use a flathead screwdriver for. Got to push it in kind of hard. There, that releases that. Put that back. Of course, make sure that you have this thing unplugged first before you get up in here. Obviously. Okay. I will just take the camera for a second. And right down up in here, you have these wires. It's just real simple. You're just going to undo these wires. I'm going to undo this little screw right here. It holds that little plastic clip on there. And then there's a couple of screws down up inside of here that hold the front cover on. And I'm just going to take the front cover off for now. Alright. I'm going to stand back a little bit so you can see from a distance better. Alright, so it's really just those two screws that hold this whole front section on, and some clips at the bottom. I'm just going to raise it up, take it off. This whole front will come off. Set that aside. It's easy to move. Take it right up inside of here. Alright, so we got this belt. This is another typical part that gets replaced, this belt right up here. Alright, so actually I'm going to flip this down and get to it from the back side to release the tension on the belt and get this drum out, because this has to come out too. That's a typical repair job for a dryer as well, just replacing the drum belt. Spinning around over here real quick for now. This dryer does have a handy access in the back that helps you out. Just focus down here on these screws down here. Again, it's just a couple of screws that hold this little access panel on. Just pop those off real quick. Comes out. Save your screws. Take it off the main shaft. And there. Now I didn't mess up the rest of it. But anyway, the belt's loose. That's ready to go. I'm going to spin the whole dryer back around. Take the drum out. Really light dryer. It's not heavy. Just got to lift up on it a little bit. Wiggle it a little bit. And boom, the drum is free. Come right out like that. Belt and all. And follow me with all the action. Alright, set that aside. Alright, so this element just has 4 wires. Get down in here so you can see. I'm going to remove these wires down here. Make sure you can see these actual wires with my hands on. There's 2 wires that go to the element, and then there's 2 wires that go up here on the temperature sensor. So that's 4 wires total that you're going to have to disconnect. And then the screws are accessed from the back to remove this thing, so I'm just going to spin it back around again. And it's just 4 screws that hold that part on. So in total, this repair job only involves Whoops. See, 4 screws there, and 5 screws before that. So that's 9 screws. So less than 10 screws is all you have to deal with for this whole repair job. And again, pretty much the only tools you need is a flathead screwdriver and a Phillips head screwdriver. So this is a really easy repair. No reason not to do it yourself. Pull this old part out. Again, the part costs about 60 bucks. If you get the dryer itself for free, there's there's still you can sell something like this easily for $100, but I would think more likely 100, 125 to 150. I have this whole thing done in less than 30 minutes, and should be able to make $50 to $75 pretty easily. Alright, the only thing that's remotely hard about this job is putting the element actually back on, and it wouldn't be hard at all if you have a second person to position it for you from the inside of the dryer. They could hold it up for you. But if you're doing the work by yourself, you have to have access to this access panel here. I've turned and I've set the replacement part inside there in about the right orientation that it goes. So I have it about right, and I'm just going to have to lift it up and kind of eyeball it until I get at least one screw hole lined up to kind of hold it in place. So have your screw ready to go, your screwdriver ready to go. Go ahead and put this on tighten mode, and then it's just kind of a pain to get started. Again, this is only hard because I'm doing it by myself, but I just want to show you how to do it by yourself. There, that's the right hole. You get one screw in this one. That'll help hold it for me. Don't tighten it up all the way. You still got to rotate it a little bit to get the next hole going. Hopefully it's there in the right spot. Let's see if they're in it.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, but I don't think that's the right one. There, that one's probably the right one. Yeah. Alright. And once you get the second screw, you can let go of it for long enough to go get the rest of your screws. Alrighty, I'm still not tightening them up all the way yet in case I need to adjust it. Push this back a little bit from the inside. Alright, it's time to put these wires back on. Make sure you focus in on where I'm actually working. The wires should be, if you rotated this right, you want to rotate these places where these wires reattach. So you can see where they go and everything, I mean, there's not enough slack in these wires for you to position this thing in any way other than exactly the right orientation, or the wires won't reach. Anyway, so that replacement part is completely in now. Trying to make sure I get that folded down. So it's time to put the drum back in. Ooh, watch out. These things are slashers. The slightest little contact with any of these edges are going to cut your fingers. You almost expect to draw blood on a project like this. Alright, so it's time to put the drum back in. There's like a little ball bearing in the middle. It just kind of snaps in. There you go. Alright, so once the drum's positioned, and let's see, wait a second, not quite positioned because this belt has to be stuffed back there a little bit. It's in the back. Okay, so the drum's in position. Now the front can go back on. In the front, there's these clips at the bottom. Just got to get the clips in the slots. And then the front hinges back on. Get all the wires inside. And you're going to have to lift the drum up as you rotate the front piece forward. Some little guiding pins here. Ways up here. Before you totally close the top back down, just make sure the drum is free rolling. It's a good way to make sure you got it on there. There's a little plastic piece here. Goes up underneath here. Like this. And then come around over here and point down inside of here at these wires. Alright. Reattach your wires. Close the top back down. Again, this just kind of snaps into place. Right. Okay. Turn that back around. We're going to just do the belt again. Again, the inside of the belt goes around the shaft of the motor, and then the outside of the belt goes around the spinner, the plastic spinner wheel. And to get it around there, you have to put some tension on the spring to get it going. And then you give a little pull through to make sure that, you know, it's spinning the drum freely. Make sure it's actually working. From there, the access panel goes back on. Little slots right there on one side. Slots, screws on the other side. And the job is done. It's ready to plug the dryer back in. I'm going to throw a wet towel in there and test it out. Make sure it's heating. And then once I'm just going to really just feel, make sure hot air is coming out of here. Once I feel hot, wet air coming out of there, I'll reattach to my dryer exhaust vent. That's 30 minutes, at least $50. It's a pretty good time. I don't know, maybe you have some other time involved in actually selling it or whatever.